Last time we talked about how we began shaping our life in the first half. The first half is when we construct our basic container, our basic understanding of life. And we thought we had things all figured out. And then life happened. And now we have the opportunity of looking back to say, okay, how does things work again? And at midlife, we have some questions that rise. And in spirituality, there can come some wondering in the mid-years about some of these spiritual assumptions we had. We thought life and spirituality worked a certain way, and it's not turning out quite the way we thought. And at that point, we have a choice of going one of two ways. We can go back to our first half certainty. And I have noticed that some people will go back and get even more dogmatic about what they believe, even more black and white in their thinking, even more rigid and dogmatic in what they believe and what they say. The problem with it is that life doesn't actually work that way. And there's a bit of a denial going on here that if we just are strong enough in our fundamental beliefs, then that'll make life work out well. Well, it doesn't actually. But I've noticed that there's another option, and that is to go into wisdom, into a bit of mystery. The Bible actually doesn't make everything clear and black and white. There is mystery in those scriptures. And so when we think about our spiritual development between the first and second half, I want to suggest to you in a little chart here how the comparison and contrast can be. In the first half, we were needing to have clear Bible knowledge. In the second half, we're looking for spiritual insight, biblical insight. In the first half, it's about doctrine and theology getting straight. And in the second half, we're interested in story and that there's poetry and there's art in the Bible that doesn't fit rigid doctrinal standards. In the first half, we're looking for certainty. In the second half, it's about confidence. In the first half, black and white thinking. Second half, we acknowledge that there's mystery. Some things don't work quite the way we thought. In the first half, we're really concerned about behavior and standards. In the second half, we realize there's paradox. Sometimes God uses the most unlikely people. In the first half, we're really anxious to serve God. In the second, we move more into the enjoyment of God and this deeper relationship with Him. In the first half, we look for cause and effect, predictable kinds of things. In the second half, we contemplate, because life doesn't always work that way. So it's almost like the first half is more of a left brain understanding of spirituality. But as we get older, there's an opportunity to move into the right brain, into more of the heart side of spirituality. And so we understand in this shift that God is inviting us to go deeper with Him. And the one aspect that is needed to go deeper is suffering, is difficulty. It's these painful things that shake our container, which make us think again. And folks, we have the most interesting discussions around this in our Crest leadership groups. We have people who are in their second half and so understand these factors. We have rich discussions that are in confidential groups, and we love what God does and the insights and the wisdom that comes out of it. You may want to consider joining us. We'd love to have you join one of our cohorts.